Have you ever had something that you cared a lot about and then you told somebody else and they didn't care at all? Well, that is me with these shoes right here. So I've had these for about 2 years and I've gone hundreds of miles and been on tons of adventures wearing these things. And today I finally decided I had to throw them away because they're beaten, they're tattered, and there's this piece of plastic now that pokes out of the cloth and it hurts a lot every time I step. So I decided I gotta let them go. But I was having a really hard time because I have such an emotional connection with these things. And when I went to throw them away, I stopped and I thought about, well, what have I done in these things? And I started to replay all the memories that I had of times when I wore these, when I climbed the stairs near Machu Picchu with a group of friends in Peru, or I ran my first ever half marathon late at night with these shoes on, or my first race. And when I traveled to Europe and I went on a train from Prague to Berlin, and I met Martin, and he was 20 and I was 22, and he was in Prague for a bunch of concerts, and we got searched by the German customs people, and he barely got rid of all of his weed right before we got onto the train, and I just met him there. We happened to whatever talk just for that short 4-hour train ride, and that's it. And I started to think of all these memories that I remember when I see these shoes. And I almost felt like I would be throwing away the memories or diminishing them if I let these go. But then I showed them to my family and they just said, well, yeah, they're beat up. You know, you've ran a lot in them. You should only go a couple hundred miles in shoes before you change them out because the soles lose their support and it's not good for your ankles, your knees, your hips. So yeah, you should just throw them away. And it was such an easy decision for them, and it was so emotional for me. Like I've had these for years and I've all these experiences. And then I realized that I had this moment of reflection where I stopped and I just kind of pondered that every experience that we have is meaningful because of what it means to us. And regardless of whether these shoes mean anything to anybody else, and whether I have them in my possession or not, if I throw them away, it doesn't change what I did with those things. And if I want to keep these as a memoir, then great. And if I have photos and I'm going to go write down some of the memories and let these go, then great too. Because ultimately, the only thing that matters in the end is if I enjoyed the experiences that I had wearing these, and not necessarily what I wore when I had them, but rather who they were with. This spoke to me a lot, and I think it's a big life lesson that maybe it'll be useful for one other person, and if it is, then hey, great. You're awesome. See ya.